So it's Christmas again. Which, for me, there's not a lot to celebrate. I mean, I can find things to celebrate every day, but Christmas just, well, if you know, you know. So today is 2 years since my little chihuahua Sushi died, and so I'm just laying here this morning thinking about him and remembering the time that we had and remembering the process of death that I experienced with him. It was one of the most beautiful and simultaneously horrifying experiences of my life. And it taught me a lot. And I had a dream last night with Sushi in it. And that reminded me of the dream that I had right after he died, because I passed out from exhaustion right after he died, and we buried him. And it was only a 45-minute nap or so, but he came to me in my dream right away. Very strong presence. And I've been thinking about dreams a lot lately. I've been having some really vivid and telling dreams, and I always have a strange pull to record them, not just for myself, but to put out for anyone to hear in case there's a message there for a wider audience or the broader mind to pick up on. So I think in honor of my little Chi-Chi, in honor of Sushi, I think I'm going to make sharing my dreams and my visions a part of my output on this channel. I might not record all of them, but I'd like to record the ones that seem to hold the most significance, or the ones that I'm able to get really lucid inside of. I feel like there's something really special about being able to bring your dreams back to full recall in this dream. It's like pulling in a treasure from another world and seeing how we can use it or utilize it or learn from it here. So anyway, I guess I'll share the dream that I had after Sushi died, and then I'll share the dream that I had last night. So right after Sushi died, my dad came over and he helped me bury him in the yard. And I had been awake with no sleep for at least 3 days in a row, trying to nurse Sushi back to health. And so after we buried him and my dad left, I just passed out from exhaustion, and a dream came quickly, and it was a message from Sushi, and it was so personal and so so us, the way that he was able to relay his message. I was in the dream. I was coming into the RV where I was living at the time. I was about to open the door and go inside. It was almost like I had just come from burying him and I was about to walk inside. And there was a thing that I used to say to my dogs whenever I would be just, looking at them, petting them, or if I was about to leave to, go to work or something. I would always just say, I see you, I see you, I see you. Like if I would be looking into their eyes and petting them, I would say, I see you a lot. Because I did feel like I could see them into their souls, not just the surface level. And I wanted to let them know that I see them, I see their spirit. And so anyways, in the dream, I'm walking into the RV, I'm opening the door, and Sushi comes running up to me, and he reaches up on my leg like he does when he wants my attention. And he has an envelope strapped to his back. And I knew right away that it was a message for me. But at the same time, I was really worried because I also knew that I was dreaming, and that there's a weird thing that happens in my dreams often, which is that when I am trying to read a text of any kind, it could be on my phone, or it could be a book, magazine, newspaper, anything with words on it, I usually can't read it. It just looks like a blob of letters that don't make any sense. Or I will be able to read it, but I know that it's me making up the words as I go, and they're usually not coherent sentences. They don't make any sense. So I was worried that I wouldn't be able to read the message that it was strapped to Sushi's back because of that thing that usually happens to me in my dream. And so I took the note off his back and I opened it really slowly, and I knew that if I wanted to be able to read it, I had to really focus. And I opened the note, and it actually wasn't difficult for me to read it at all. It was very simple, really quick message. And I think he made it that way because he also knew that I would have limited time to be able to read it and understand. So the note said, I now see you. And that was it. And it was so special because, that was the thing that I always used to say to him. I always used to say, I see you, buddy. I see you. And then he crossed over to the other realm, other side, and he says, now I see you. He could see my spirit. He could see me as I really am. He could see the fullness of what I am. And it's just such a special dream. I'll never forget it. And even now, as I look out into the trees, his face is looking back at me. He's still so here. His presence here is so strong still. I see him every single day, multiple times through the day. He's not left my side, not even close. And I'm so thankful. And so I wanted to share also the dream that I had last night. And Sushi was in it too, and so was Saki, my other dog. So in the dream, I was trying to leave a building, and it was sort of like, it was a department store or a mall. Either way, it was a very boxy feeling, and I was quite aware of the fact that I was trying to leave a box. And I also knew in the dream that box was symbolic. It's the box of this realm that I know so well. So I'm trying to leave this box. And another thing that was significant throughout the dream was that I was holding my keys in my hand the whole time. And that was part of the problem too, because I was trying to corral my dogs, both Sushi and Saki, to come with me out of the box and get into my car so that we could leave. But I didn't have their leashes, so they were just running all over the place. And I had a hard time, we were dodging cars. We were just every obstacle that could get thrown at us to get from getting outside of this box building to my car. Every obstacle imaginable was getting thrown at us, but not all at once. It was like we were being, we had different chances. Like we were getting put back in the box, and we were given the objective to get out and get to the car all as one group, unharmed, all together, And so every time I would leave the box, I would have something happen. Either one of the dogs would run off, and I would be scrambling to try to find him or her, and not lose the other one, and not lose my keys. And I could never make it to my car. I could never make it. And so I would get put back in the box to try again. And so I'd be coming right back out of the building again, keys in hand. And then a bunch of times I ran into this man, and he had a big fat belly and a bald head, and he was mean, and he was in my way and trying to harass me and taunt me and just be in my way so that I couldn't do what I needed to do to get to my car with my dogs. And I remember at one point, one of the rounds, because it was round after round after round, being put back in the box, escaping the box, trying to get into my car, couldn't make it, get put back in the box. And so one of the rounds, that man with the fat belly came and got in my way, and I stabbed him with my key. And that was the most violent that it got, but that felt significant somehow. Anyways, I remember that each time we had to go through the whole round again, we were all losing energy. We were less strong each time, me and the dogs. So that was also part of the problem, was that sometimes I had to carry them, and sometimes they were, they couldn't hear me, or they were too weak to continue on the journey. And so the last time that I tried to get out of the box and get to my car, excuse me. That was a sneeze, not a cough. Most people can't tell the difference between my sneezes and my coughs. Anyway, so the last time that we tried to make the journey from this box building to my car, I could tell that we were all really weak, and we were just losing energy so fast. And it was so bad that by the time I was able to get one of the dogs through the door, the other one just sort of like got stuck in the door and sort of disappeared into this puff of hair that sort of was shaped like a feather. And I couldn't tell which dog it was, but I also at the same time assumed that it was Sushi because I already knew that in my waking life he had already died. So I felt like it was him, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't see which one it was. And so when he turned into that puff of hair after getting stuck in the door, that's when I just sort of started to wake up and realize, like, I knew that I had been dreaming the whole time, but I got even more lucid. And I remember that I wanted another go-round. I wanted to try again, but I couldn't do another round. It was over, and I was waking up, and all I could do was try to hold on to the memory of the dream because I knew that it was significant. I knew it was significant because of what I was trying to escape, and the fact that I kept getting put through round after round after round. I knew that it was symbolic of what happens here in this particular weird-ass realm that we're in. And also any dream that I have where Sushi is in it, I always want to hold on to that as closely as possible because it's like extra time that I get to spend with him alive again. So yeah, I just wanted to put those out on record for myself and for anybody who can get anything from them, or if it's just of interest to anyone. And I think it's been pulling at me for a while to do this, and I guess since it is Christmas and it is the anniversary of Sushi's changing form, I would like to start recording the dreams that I'm having and the visions. I have wanted to paint them, but I can't paint them fast enough, There's too many. Even if I could paint full time, I don't think I'd be able to get all these visions that I have out, even in a lifetime. I don't know. And so maybe while I also paint what I see, I can also share it in word form. Probably not everything that I see, not all my visions, but maybe the ones that call to be, shared out beyond myself. I think I will start to share them. I know I was sharing some of them before, maybe a year and a half ago or so, and then I just stopped. But I know a lot of us are having dreams. I know a lot of us are seeing a lot of visions, and very telling these times. So, yeah, thanks for listening, and enjoy your winter. Stay warm, stay cozy, stay close to the ones you care about. And, yeah, dream sweet.